So I don't know if I've told you guys this before on the channel before, but I'm a very massive Star Trek fan. The shows, the characters, the world, all of it is super fun for me. So today, I thought it'd be fun to stop and rank all 3 J.J. Abrams Star Trek films. That's Star Trek, Star Trek Into Darkness, and Star Trek Beyond. Before I give you guys my thoughts, let me know what you guys think of this trilogy down in the comment section below. Do you love it? Do you hate it? Are you a fan of Star Trek? Are you more of a middling fan? Do you even care about these films? I'll let you know all your thoughts down in the comment section below. So without further ado, let's get into it. Coming in last place, I have Star Trek Beyond. Now, there is not a single terrible link of these movies, but Star Trek Beyond is the out of all these 3 of these films, it's the film I come to the least. It's the film I come to because it's pretty forgettable in a lot of points. The performances are nice. It's really fun to look at, and it's a really fun action ride, and there's some good characters and some good Star Trek moments, and visual effects are great, but it's not really a film I go to a lot of the times. It's not a film that just kind of is, and another thing is it's not directed by J.J. Abrams. It's set in the same world, but J.J. Abrams did not come back to direct. So it doesn't have that direction style that J.J. Abrams and the energy that Abrams brought to the first 2 Star Trek films in this trilogy. The cast is a lot of fun, and it's pretty much everything you'd want from a summer blockbuster. Good cast, funny moments, really exciting action sequences, and the villain, I would say, is pretty forgettable. The villain just didn't do it for me, and I found Captain Kirk to be a pretty bad captain in this film. He basically says on a star log that he doesn't want to be a captain anymore, that he's bored by this, but in another Star Trek film, he says that's what makes him keep going, that the captain is what makes him live each and every day, being a captain of this crew. So it's kind of like they take little bits of pieces of that plot from past Star Trek films and try to put it in this film, but in a different way. So it doesn't really work in kind of the perspective of this film, because they take the different plot lines from past Star Trek films and try to put it in this film in the best possible way they can, but it doesn't feel warranted. It doesn't feel like it's a rich and powerful thing. And all the while, the movie just feels really small scale. And also, oh my gosh, how many times this entire trilogy we see the Enterprise get destroyed? The first one, we see it get destroyed technically twice. Second one, it gets destroyed. And the third one, it gets destroyed. And since they take place on this one planet, it feels very small scale. I have no problem with a small scale blockbuster or a small scale Star Trek film, but a lot of the times, you're kind of missing that grandeur and kind of the more space opera feel. The film is fun. The film is entertaining. I would give all these films a positive review, but it's one of the films I come to least. Coming in second place, I have Star Trek 2009. J.J. Abrams kind of revitalized the Star Trek franchise after it was kind of dead for many years. This film has great cast. Chris Pine is great as young Captain Picard, or Kirk, not Cook. Those are 2 different names. He just brings a fun life to him. He's smarky, but you can kind of forgive it. He doesn't really feel like Captain Kirk from the older films, but I kind of forgive it. He's new. He's arrogant. He thinks he can do everything outside the rules. And normally, I'm kind of sick of that plot line. Oh, a young, rookie guy who thinks he's outside the law. But in this film, it brings such life to it. It's super fun and fast-paced. And J.J. Abrams' overly eccentric energy that he kind of bolts and kind of explodes into this film from every single frame. The action sequences are super exciting. It's super fast-paced. There's not really a dull moment. It's funny, it's entertaining, and at times it doesn't feel like Star Trek at times, and I think that's the main problem with J.J. Abrams' entire trilogy, is at times it doesn't really feel like Star Trek, it feels like Star Wars, because J.J. Abrams is not really a fan of Star Trek, but he is a fan of Star Wars, and at times it doesn't feel like Star Trek. It feels like Star Wars. I know a lot of people kind of isn't Star Trek and Star Wars the same thing? No, Star Wars is a space opera fantasy film series, and Star Trek is more of a space exploration with a little bit of action sequences. The villain, I think, is really good. Even though he's not the best villain or anything, he still has a lot of great moments. And I love the way the film deals with new Spock and old Spock and dealing with that personal timeline. But of course, coming in first place is actually the really hated Star Trek Into Darkness. I never got this film's hate. I've never got why this film has been hated as much as its critics really like it. Critics really enjoy it. Has 84 Rotten Tomatoes, so it is a very positive reviewed film. On the flip side, audiences really liked it as well. So I don't really get what the problem is. Actually, audiences liked it way more than critics did. But actual hardcore Star Trek fans said this is not a good Star Trek film. Alright? That's your opinion. I think this is a great film from start to finish. J.J. Abrams once again put that kind of energy to him. Benedict Cumberbatch is great as Khan. There's a great relationship between Kirk and Spock that builds. It's funny, it's exciting, it's action-packed. Again, do we really need to see the Enterprise get destroyed once again in a Star Trek film? No, but I would say it's warranted here because it kind of gives it that hold and that big weight that I feel like the film really needed in this point of time. Is there problems? Yes. There's super blood that can cure death. Maybe don't put that in the Star Trek canon. And there's a lot of moments in this film that doesn't really feel like Star Trek. It feels more like Star Wars. But the film is super fun, super fast-paced, and super entertaining. So that's my ranking of all 3 J.J. Abrams Star Trek films. What do you think of this? I'll your thoughts down in the comments below. If you like this video, hit the like button and subscribe and hit that post notification bell so you're notified when I upload another video. You can check out my podcast. I do every other Tuesday with a friend of mine. It's called the Movie View Podcast. And you guys can check out my Instagram at GeneralScottDaniel77. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys next time. General out.